So in this video, we are looking at Lesson 3, page 8. For number 4, we have that x plus 3 squared equals 9. What we want to find is our solution, or our solutions. So first we're going to take care of the square. So to get rid of our square, we want to square root it. And what we do on one side, we must do to the other. Once we do this, on this side we are left with x plus 3. And on this side, we do not just get 3, but we get plus and minus 3. So now to find our solutions, we have to set x plus 3 equal to positive 3 and negative 3. We have x plus 3 equals 3. And we also have x plus 3 equals negative 3. So I want to subtract my 3 from both sides. And I have x equals 0. I do the same thing for the other. Subtract 3, and I have x equals negative 6. So my solutions will be at 0 and negative 6. Now for number 1. Number 1 is in the far left hand side. So this one we want to complete the square. First we want to put the negative 20 or the subtract 20 on the other side by adding. So we have x squared plus 8x. We're going to put something right here, but we have that 20 right here. Now, how we find this something is by using b divided by 2 squared. So our b is our 8 divided by 2 squared. 8 divided by 2 gives us 4, and we have it squared. So our something is going to be 16. So our 16 is going to allow us to complete the square. So we have positive 16. But because we do something on one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to plus 16 on the right side. So now once we simplify, we have x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 36. Now because we completed our square, we know that we're going to get two factors that are the same. So we're going to have our two parentheses that equal that 36. Our variable was x that was squared, and all terms were positive, and we had addition, so our operations are going to be addition. And then we're looking for a number that multiplies together to give us 18 or 16, but also add to give us 8, and that is 4. Simply put, we have x plus 4 squared equals 36. And now we want to solve for x. So we're going to solve by taking the square root. And then once we take the square root of the left side, we get rid of the square. So we're left with x plus 4. And on the right side, we're left with positive and negative 6. So remember, this means that we have x plus 4 equals positive 6. Also, x plus 4 gives us negative 6. So our solutions are x equal positive 2 and negative 10. So for number 6, on the same page at the very bottom, what we want to do is move our 4 off to the side and also get rid of this 3. So first we're going to move our 4 out of our way. By adding it to both sides. And then we're also going to divide each term by 3. Now we're going to use the same thing we used up here in number 1 by taking our b, dividing 2, and squaring it. So once we do that to our 11 divided by 3, we get positive 121 over 9. And always remember, what we do on one side, we have to do to the other. Now simplifying, we have x squared minus 11 over 3 times x plus 121 over 9 equals 169 over 36. Now again, because we completed the square, we know that we're going to end up with factors that are the same. So we're going to have 2 parentheses that are the same. Our variable that was squared was x, and we equal 169 over 36. So because we had subtraction over here, our subtraction is going to be in both of our parentheses because they have to be the same. And then 11 over 3, 11 over 3 gives us what we want. Now again, because these are the same thing, they're multiplying together, we can square it so that we can see what we need to do to get to our x. We're going to square root it. So we have x minus 11 over 3 equals positive and negative all of this. So positive and negative 169 over 36. Now simplifying that, you have your x equals 4 and negative 1/3. Now to page 9, still lesson 3. We're going to do number 12. Number 12, we're still trying to solve for our x. So we're going to divide by 3 first. So we get x squared equals 16. And to get rid of our square, we're going to square root it. And x equals positive and negative 4. Now for time's sake, I'm not going to separate this video out. I'm going to go straight into the imaginary numbers worksheet. For homework, you are supposed to do at 17 through 28. I'm choosing to do 23 and 28 due to the fact I think that they're one of the harder ones. You didn't know what to look for. So for 23, in this square root, you can separate out negative 60 by saying negative 1 times 6 times 10. Now with this, we can still separate the 6 and the 10 out. So we've got 3 times the square root of negative 1 times 2 times 3. That takes care of my 6. And then for my 10, I have times 2 times 5. So now looking at this, you can check it by doing it negative 1 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 5. My little saying always is I have a pair of 2's. They're going to be the same, so they get married and become 1 and move out of the house. So I have 3 times 2 on the outside, and I'm left with -1 times 3 times 5. Now with this outside, I have 6. I'm going to bring out the square root of -1. The square root of -1 will always give you I. So this I comes outside as well. So I have 6I times the square root of 3 times 5. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm left with this. Now with the -15, I have addition in the middle. The addition does not change. For this 15, I have the square root of -1 times 15. And if I want to try to separate this out to see if I can bring anything outside of the square root, I can do -15 times 5 times 3. Well, I don't have a pair of anything, so it stays the same. But this square root of -1 still comes out as I. So I have I on the outside of the square root. And 5 times 3 gives me 15. Now because the square roots are the same, they're kind of like terms. So this has 6I on the outside. This one has 1I on the outside. So I'm going to add them to give me 7I times the square root of 15. Now for 28. 28 is again a little bit more complicated than the other ones. You're first going to deal with this -75. This square root of -75 can be separated out.